Hello and thanks for joining. I'm Shilpa Nagesh, Marketing Lead for Juniper Beyond Labs. Juniper's quantum-safe VPN solution enables network operators to secure IPsec and MACsec VPNs against quantum computer-aided attacks. It does this by combining VPN protocol enhancements, which can be deployed on nearly all our Juniper platforms, with complementary key material provided by all of our third-party partners. This ensures that your network traffic is safe and secure from inevitable quantum threats without looking into proprietary hardware-based solutions, which may become obsolete with future regulatory changes. I'm here today with Mattia Montagna, co-founder and CEO of Quantum Bridge, to share more of how he's leveraged Juniper's platforms with his distributed symmetric key establishment solution, DSKE. Mattia, thanks for joining us today to share more about the joint solution.
Thank you very much for inviting me here, Shilpa.
So I know that you recently were at the G7 workshop in Rome, and you talked a little bit about our solution and Quantum Bridges. So can you tell us a little bit more about what this solution is and what types of customers typically use it?
Yes, for sure. The use case that we are seeing right now in the market is the combination of IPsec solution like the Juniper VSRX or the Juniper SRX series, together with the key distribution system that allow for quantum secure communication. Juniper was one of the first adopter of the RFC 8784 that allow for the integration of external cryptographic materials into IPsec, into the IPsec protocol. And the VSRX and the SRX series is a great example of that. And also Juniper was one of the first adopter of the standard produced by HETC that allowed the integration of external key distribution system for the delivery of quantum safe key material. So the demonstration that we had in the context of the G7 workshop was the use of our symmetric key distribution solution, which is indeed based on the DSKE protocol, together with the routers, IPsec routers and firewall, like Juniper VSRX, to allow for layer 3 quantum safe communication. And one of the main advantages of DSKE is that it guarantees what is called information theoretical security, meaning that you can mathematically prove that you cannot break the key distribution with a quantum computer, differently, for example, than quantum key distribution solution or PQC solution. And so the integration of the two allow to build a global platform that are provably safe against quantum computational attacks. So there was a demonstration there in the context of the workshop in Rome, where we used the Juniper VSRX appliances together with the DSKE protocol to provide a layer 3 quantum safe IPsec channel between multiple countries.
So thanks for sharing a little bit about the solution that you demoed at the G7 workshop. I'm curious if you've had customers express interest in the solution or trying it out.
Surely. There are a few verticals which are particularly interested in having a migration, start to planning for a migration into quantum security and understand exactly how a migration would work for them. And a relatively good number of them already started to test or to deploy solution like a Quantum Bridge solution. The main vertical we see where there is a strong interest are the telecommunication sectors, or telecommunication companies, especially ones involved in 5G, 6G infrastructure, which have a very long lifespan, right? So they need to look into the future of the security for those type of infrastructure. Governments and intelligence agencies, there is definitely a strong interest there. I think the reason is in their case, the data that they deal with is a very long lifespan data. So it's data that in 20 years, 30 years is still very important for nations. So national security system, intelligence, defense, and then critical infrastructure as well. So anything that deals with either very long-term infrastructure like power grid, nuclear plants, any sort of critical system for a nation that needs to stay in place for very long term. So telecommunication company, government, critical infrastructure, those are sectors which are starting to experimenting with the quantum security. Some are planning, some are already deploying this type of solutions.
I want to touch a little bit more go back to the workshop that we talked about earlier. You had mentioned to me that there was a financial services company that you were actually working with for this solution. Can you tell a little bit more about how they've implemented it?
Surely. The idea there is that those financial institutions, they regularly upgrade their network. And when the time comes, they look at the major threat that they foresee for the next 5 to 10 years, because those are the timeline that they use for implementing and for upgrading their infrastructure. And so we're working with a group of financial institutions that are upgrading their networks, and they have a forward-looking vision of how this infrastructure should look like, and they are very aware of the quantum threat. And so we're working with companies like Juniper to provide the best solution for companies who has a forward-looking view and they want to stay ahead of the threat, and make sure that the investment they do today for upgrading their infrastructure keep maintaining value for the next decade.
I love hearing that there are customers who are expressing interest on combating the quantum threat, and I look forward to hearing more around their progress with your solutions. Thank you for sharing more about their experience.
Thank you very much, Shilpa, for asking.
For those of you who are curious to learn more about Quantum Bridge, Juniper Beyond Labs, and Juniper Networks, take a look at the links in the description below. Thank you so much for joining us today.